Welcome, everyone, to the Sonoma Spiel. My name is Tim with the Sonoma Valley Visitors Bureau, and it's another weekly edition of your favorite podcast, everybody, your favorite podcast, the Sonoma Spiel. Today, I went, as always, to the farmer's market. I brought some carrots from the farmer's market here. It's not something that lends itself to a podcast because it's, so my guess is it's got some carrots. There's some great carrots in there. I got them from, Oak Hill Farm. Look at them. They're like obscenely shaped carrots, which are a good deal for those.
It's almost like being in the ocean.
It is. It's like a weird ocean, like deep sea fish thing in there. But probably not
too soon.
Good topic right now.
Yeah. Real quick, am I supposed to see you in
no,
the video?
in that video there.
Okay.
So I would like to introduce my guest, who is an audiovisual specialist in addition.
At least right now.
In addition to being a winemaker, occasional grape grower, occasional video producer, bad golfer, dad, many things like that. I know I say every week I have a very special guest, but this week I actually mean it. I actually mean a very special guest, Paul Giusto of Highway 12 Wines. Hi.
Hey. Hi, Tim.
How are you doing?
Great.
Good.
Great. Thanks for that magnificent intro.
You bet. I probably mangled it's Highway 12 Vineyards and Winery.
Yes.
So I thank you for wearing a logoed shirt that I could look at.
Boom.
Right. There you go.
There you go.
And also Highwayman Wines.
Highwayman Wines and a few other
And a couple others
projects up our sleeve.
Yeah, you have lots of projects going on.
Such is the business these days.
Gotta be nimble.
Yeah.
Gotta be nimble. Well, Paul, tell me, you are with Highway 12 Wines. That is a winery here in Sonoma, or where is it?
Fortunately, it's in Sonoma.
Okay, good.
And I've got a 3-mile commute every day
to
the winery.
Not bad.
We say our founding year was 2004.
Okay.
And that was the first year that we took vintage, or our first vintage wine that we made
from those years.
Was from that vintage. Yeah, that was the Highway 12 single vineyard Bordeaux blend, which we still make today.
And then let me ask: once you get grapes and you make them into wine, it only takes like 3 days, right? It's basically you're done,
exactly.
And then you go home for the year.
We do it. Well, no, we do it every month, right?
So when did the 2004 grapes appear? In like when?
We released it in 2006.
So there's a long payoff. You have to wait.
You have to wait.
And you put them in barrels and then bottles.
But waiting was no problem because we had no idea what we were going to do with it for 18 months anyway.
Hey guys, let's sell some wine.
Yeah, welcome to the wine business.
And who knows? So in 2004, you got a bunch of grapes. You bought them, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it was like, let's see, we did like 600 cases, so it was maybe 10 tons or something like that.
For real? Okay.
Yeah.
And you were able to sell them 2 years later to a bunch of people. You're like, let's finally find a place to sell these.
We gave away more than we sold.
Was that like you see on the street corner? Hey, who wants to try some wine?
Yeah,
come here.
Yeah, friends and family.
And is it on the corner of Highway 12, and that's how you came up with the name, or how did you come up with that name?
Well, I mean, really, the take a step back.
Mm-hmm.
We were in the business, been in the business.
So you've been in the wine business before.
Yeah, plenty.
You knew what you were getting into, kind of.
Ish. Mostly, yes. We were winemaking and operational wizards. The hardest part of the business, though, is selling it and moving it.
Right.
So that aspect of things we learned the hard way. So we took a step back and we started seeing all vineyards that we're sourcing from, which was like a lot of vineyards, like 2. And we didn't want the story to be about us in terms of like a ego brand or proprietors and face and name all over the place, and this concept of the highway and the vineyards being along the highway. Got it. Boom! Here we go. Tells that story of Sonoma wine country, as well as it reaches out to West County. Right. Russian River ends in Sebastopol, or arguably starts in Sebastopol.
Oh, really? Depending what direction you go.
And it ends or starts in San Andreas, which is in Calaveras County.
That's the Highway 12.
That's Highway 12.
California Highway 12.
Yeah. So, I mean, technically it goes through Napa, it goes through now Sassoon, Cordelia, which is becoming a very prominent wine growing region, Lodi. And then the foothills of the Sierras. But we've focused primarily on Sonoma.
So were you actually, have you ever bought grapes from other parts of Highway 12 that aren't in Sonoma? You have?
Yeah. And a few of our wines feature grapes from like Clarksburg, which is close to Isleton, Lodi, along, Rio Vista, and just keep going
right
east.
On Highway 12. That's
right
clever.
On Highway 12, yeah.
So people who don't know, Highway 12 is also the freeway. It's not a freeway. It's a road.
I mean, it is free to drive. I mean, you do pay for it
you pay
in some capacity, but, no toll roads.
But it's no toll. So it is a road that runs through Sonoma, city of Sonoma, and the Sonoma Valley. And your tasting room is called The Barn.
The Barn.
Is right off Highway 12, although it's called Broadway in Sonoma.
Correct.
Matter of fact, it changes names like 3 or 4 times in the city limits.
It does.
Just to make things interesting for newcomers.
I mean, just from Fremont Drive to Carneros. Right. It turns into Carneros Highway,
Broadway, Spain,
which is another one of our brands.
Right. Oh, that's smart.
Yeah.
I mean, not that Caltrans should be supporting you, but they should be supporting you.
Well, no one's knocked on the door yet, but we are a prime candidate for an Adopt a Highway program.
Well, that's a smart idea.
I know.
Well, speaking of which,
we're doing Adopt a Radio Station program.
You should on KSVY 91.3 FM. You guys are big sponsors here, actually, of this community station where we record this.
I don't know how big we are, but we're we support.
You're regular sponsors.
We're regular.
Yeah,
that's great.
Good. You're like the prunes of.
That's right.
You're regular.
Speaking of farmers market.
Where was it going? Blah, 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 Highway 12.
The Barn, Broadway.
The Barn. You have a great tasting room there.
It's fun.
It's a double-decker, right? There's an upstairs.
Yeah, we have lounge upstairs.
It's down a little tiny alley. Mm-hmm. You've got new neighbors in the front, a new store called Hello Sonoma.
I know.
And it's like kind of neat stuff.
Super cool. From Pengrove, right?
Yeah, they came out there.
From Hello Pengrove.
I was there Wednesday walking by. You have a beehive forming in the side of the building in front of you. I don't know if you saw that.
I got a few pictures from Christina who works for us.
Was she like freaking out?
It was a
swarm.
It was a swarm.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. So I think that's been dealt with.
I think so. Yeah. I saw some remnant bees like going around. Like where'd everybody go?
Yeah. Someone moved my house. It's
but who knew that there was honey? Like, a lot of these old buildings on Highway 12, since it was the main road into town. So there was a beehive being built in the side of this, not being built, in the side of this old building that they renovated for the store right in front of you. And I was thinking, Broadway honey, Highway 12 honey. There's something there.
There is something.
I mean, I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm always thinking of good ideas for other people.
Highway honey.
See, boom.
There we go.
Everything. Well, so tell me, before this, Paul. Did you grow up in Sonoma, or where are you from?
No, I do not. I do not get to take credit for growing up in Sonoma. And I do know a lot of people that don't like to take credit for growing up. No, I'm kidding. No, I've been here since, my folks moved here in the late 80s. And then I followed shortly after in 1990.
You moved up here.
33 years. You can do the math now.
Okay. Yeah. You're about 28 years old.
Exactly.
And
been here long enough.
You've been here a long time. Yeah. That's a long time.
But I will never claim... not
until you're 3 generations deep.
OG
then you
status,
can become a local.
Man. Yeah. No,
wow, you gotta
know plenty of them, but I still can't.
I'll give it to you.
I'll give it to you. Put myself.
Nobody's
in
listening. I'll give it to you.
No one's listening. Sonoma's number one podcast.
Number one podcast.
That's right.
So you moved up here. You went to Sonoma State.
I did.
Go Seawolves.
I had a 5-year stretch.
And after freshman year, 5-year stretch.
I don't think my freshman year counted at all. I had 3 units that applied to my graduation.
When you walked in there, you looked into these well-appointed palatial studio, and you said this reminded you of something that was called Party Paul. What was that?
Party Paul was the show twice. It was a Tuesday and a Thursday. I think 8 to 10 in the morning. I'd go to the school. Radio station.
They had a radio station.
Yeah.
At Sonoma State.
Yeah. KSUN.
KSUN. Was it the voice of Sonoma State?
Sonoma State, yeah. Okay. It was digital, went through all the classrooms or dorms and student areas and all that kind of stuff. And again, just like this.
Party Paul.
A lot of people listening to you.
Are those tapes exist somewhere, you think?
Oh, man. If I could. We used to run the 8-tracks.
Okay.
We do our... public service announcements, and you get to do some fun stuff, and there's a bunch of sounds and this and that. But it was pretty much just playing whatever was in there.
Right.
Was vetted to be played over these airwaves, which is very alternative music.
Right.
So I wasn't really in. punk, great, you know, some metal, that kind of stuff, but it was really, really kind of out there. So I always looked for the more mainstream alt
to bring it back in.
that I could find to make it.
Because college radio is notorious for just being, let's just be crazy. Let's just have cats howling and smashing garbage cans. Like, I love that stuff.
It was great. It was so much fun. And I was a communications major, so I mean, I didn't get any credit for it, but
it was part of where you were.
I thought one day broadcast journalism was going to be my thing.
Maybe.
I'm using it right now.
There's still time. You're doing it right now. You're broadcasting.
Absolutely.
I mean, so do you ever use your communications at work?
All the time.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, aren't you like a good drawer? A drawer? You're an illustrator. I think didn't you draw some of your labels?
Did I? No, I haven't.
What were you doing?
I'm a good drawer at certain things.
The blackjack table too.
Gosh, if some of my buddies were listening, I love to doodle. There's no question.
Okay, because I thought for some reason you were like doing artistic stuff for the labels or something. You always have cool labels.
Thank you.
You have cool art there. Yeah, I like the general.
I guess it takes an eye for that, and we work with some. You know, we have a great design. A friend of mine who's a designer and kind of gets what we're doing, but we're doing some different stuff now.
You are.
Yeah, we're gonna branch off into some kind of like really. You
have a new project?
One particular project that is going to be released next year.
You can't talk about it.
Not really.
Okay.
I mean, I can.
It's still in the wine world?
It's in the wine world, and it's just going to be, we are very conventional in terms of an operation.
Right.
We make the vanilla chocolates and strawberries of the world, and we price it right. We make it good, and
people like that stuff,
and it sells.
Right.
Okay. But there's the need to kind of progress and evolve in this industry as it changes and the consumers change. And
so, are you trying to dethrone White Claw? Come on, is that the plan? Zima Part 2?
No. It will be a wine, and it will be a great wine. It'll be a fun blend and some different varietal composition, and with a really fun look that's just going to make people go, huh?
Okay, interesting.
And create some intrigue.
Will that be under Highway 12 or something else?
It'll be under something else.
Okay.
I mean, it'll be under our umbrella.
Right.
But we're not going to market it as Highway 12, Highwayman, Carneros Highway, Sonoma Highway, blah, 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 blah. We're gonna take that different direction and kind of go to market with it a little differently.
I'll have you back when you bring that new project, Project X.
And I could have the ultimate prop.
You can't tell me it? What is it?
No.
Oh, I love. Well, that's great. This is great communications. There I am. I'm on the edge of my seat. Like, what the heck? And you're like, I'm not going to tell you.
There you go. You'll get a kick out of it.
Okay. Tell me about your boring wines then, Paul. What do you guys make?
You name it. Mm-hmm. We're pretty much making it.
Okay. So Merlot.
We do make Merlot.
Cabernet.
Cab.
Do you have a Pinot Noir?
We have several Pinots.
Do you have a Chardonnay?
We have Chardonnay, multiple different ways.
Sauvignon Blanc.
Sauvignon Blanc and a Fumé Blanc.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the difference between those?
So we take the Sauv Blanc, and then we'll peel off, I don't know, maybe 4 barrels.
Okay.
And put it in new oak.
Oh, I see.
And give it like 4 to 5, maybe 6 months in new French oak.
Okay.
It changes the flavor profile.
Where does Sauvignon Blanc normally go? Like in stainless steel? Or okay.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, you can do barrel ferment and kind of have some fun with it. Mm-hmm. We typically do stainless steel. Okay. It all comes from McLeod Family Vineyard, which the McLeods don't own it anymore, but up in Kenwood there at the trailhead at Annandale off of Lawndale.
When you're driving north on the left-hand side?
Exactamundo. So great source for that. So we, slice it up a couple different ways.
Okay.
We also get Zin from there as well.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
So Zinfandel is still a big seller. People like Zinfandel.
It's hit or miss, I think. I mean, I think you got your xenophiles, if you will, or xenophiles.
Yeah.
Remember Zap back in the day?
Zinfandel area producers?
Yeah. Something like that. Zinfandel advocates.
They're advocates. They're like lawyers. Your Honor, I'm here to represent Zinfandel.
That's right. Yeah. And Lord knows they need a few more of those folks. No, I'm not here to bag on our amazing industry. But Zin is... It's still there. It's still a category.
Gotcha.
But we don't make a varietal Zin.
Got it.
We use Zin as for 2 particular wines as the main varietal in the blend.
So a lot of people don't understand this. So one, varietal. Can you explain what that is? What does that mean? What is a varietal?
Grape variety.
Right. So like if
Cabernet Sauvignon.
I plant a vine in the ground. Mm-hmm. It only grows one type of grape usually, unless you're some super grafting guy. But let's just assume you plant, and don't tell me about clonal varieties. Let's just assume I put a grape Vine in the ground.
You can put the rootstock in.
Oh my gosh! Okay, put the rootstock in.
You gotta get the rootstock going, and then you'll graft on.
You can do a bench graft or a field graft, and then you
know more than I do.
So you have this root. Then on top of it, you put the variety, and that produces a grape called a varietal sometimes, and usually it's like a Cabernet Sauvignon is a varietal.
Probably that or Chardonnay, King and Queen.
Chardonnay, and what sometimes confuses people is that there's also wines named Cabernet. Right, Cabernet Sauvignon, but my understanding, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I probably am, you could have other grapes in there, but the majority of it has to be Cabernet Sauvignon, right, or Chardonnay. Or
and there's different levels of requirements depending on how specific of an appellation you're going to be in.
Right.
So if it's just a California appellated wine, it has to be a minimum of 75%.
From California.
Of that varietal.
Oh, that varietal. Oh,
from California.
Oh,
sure.
Okay.
And then, take Sonoma Valley, for example.
Right.
It's an AVA.
Okay.
A sub-appellation of Sonoma County, which isn't technically even an appellation. I think it's more of a political designation.
I think it's what do they call it? It is an AVA, but it's a regional AVA. I don't know.
Yeah.
So American Viticultural Area.
Right.
Which is like a defined space.
Sonoma Valley, Carneros, Sonoma Mountain, Moon Mountain is a sub-AVA, or, is a sub-AVA of Sonoma Valley. You're looking at 85%.
Got it. So if I look at a label.
And it's got to be 95% of the vintage year.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so you can't backblend any previous vintage, up to 5%.
So because a lot of people don't know that wine, there's a bottle, there's a name. They don't quite understand how to read the label, right? So Cabernet Sauvignon says that's the predominant grape variety in there.
At least
But what you're saying is that there could also be what you call a backblend or other grape varieties in there to kind of change the taste.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like maybe Merlot.
And we blend like crazy.
Like
we do. we blend like
crazy.
We're just mad crazy blenders. You could. There's if you want. I mean, we make some wines that are 100% of the varietal,
right,
from that vintage, and from a particular vineyard. That's really like 100%.
And that's when you're throwing your lot, and that you really hope those grapes hold up. Like that.
Yeah.
That vineyard didn't have a problem. It wasn't too hot. It wasn't too cold.
Right. And you're only doing that when it's on.
Right. It's gonna work.
Because
you've got to like keep that juice separate all the way through. And so that's a lot of time and money and barrels not being used for other things.
Multiple lots. Yeah. Breaking it down. So you look around here, you know who the players are. More of the reserve wines are going to be in that realm.
Right.
Traditionally.
Okay.
But the gloves are off. They really are.
Game on.
If the wine tastes great and it's made this way and it's got this blend and it looks this cool.
Right.
And people are going to buy it.
So you can change the blend. If you have a blend, which is not just say, it's not, let's say Cabernet Sauvignon, it's not 85%. It could be some Cab, some Merlot.
Oh, yeah.
And you could have like your own proprietary blend.
Yeah.
You get like, this is Paul's blend.
You can. And we do. We have a couple different proprietary blends
that we
do. Yeah. I mean, they're classified as red wine.
Right.
That's the legal. Seriously, I mean, it's like Rossi.
Your tax dollars at work.
Yeah,
a lawyer's like, this is red wine.
But if you don't put all the varietals on the back label or the front label, you just have to call it red wine.
Red wine.
Yeah.
Do you blend red wines more than white wines, or is it
by far?
Really? Okay. So white wines tend to be a little more specific to the varietal.
Yeah, I mean, Chardonnay, people are going to blend in maybe lighter, higher fruit note wines if they're looking for those high notes.
Got it.
Whether that's, sometimes it might be Muscat or sometimes it might be Sauvignon Blanc and a little bit of Chardonnay to pick up some notes. What else? I mean, you've got, we know someone who blends Vermentino into their Chardonnay. We've got a Vermentino source here in Sonoma that really helps with some roundness or some lushness.
Okay.
Yeah,
so it's a lot like if you're, just for people who aren't wine people, maybe it's like when you're making a stew, you add little things to change it, right? And that helps you affect it, and over time,
I mean, cooking and chefing is the perfect example of winemaking.
But not doing the dishes, Paul?
I'm not a dish guy. I will cook you something delicious.
I would say
not clean up.
And then your family's like, looks like Dad's been in the kitchen.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually, you mentioned recipes. I went on your website.
Oh, yeah.
Which is quite nice. It's on the internet. Yeah.
It is. I've heard of that.
And you guys have a lot of recipes on there.
Yeah, that's Christina at work.
Oh, really? She does it?
I mean, she's our resident foodie.
It's so hard, speaking as somebody who talks to a lot of wineries, to it's like pulling teeth to say, give me a recipe from a winery. And they're like, oh, I don't know. And then like 6 months go by and they're like, oh, was I supposed to send you a recipe?
Right.
I'm like, yeah, it was a Christmas recipe. It's June. I said, no. Like, or for next year, I guess.
Just take the allspice out.
What you have here, like you have a Cioppino recipe that you recommended to go with your Pinot Noir Rosé. And Cioppino is a classic San Francisco style seafood dish that adapted from the Italian fishermen.
Absolutely.
And that's a good one. You've got a French dip sandwich on there. It goes with one of your red wines. Your cab, it's grilled sharp cheddar and chive butter sandwich. You get a lot of cool stuff in here. That's it. But what's kind of like your favorite thing to make to go with some of your wines?
Oh boy, that's a good question.
Put you on the spot there.
I know. I grill a lot, so
let's talk about that.
Yeah, I mean,
it's grilling season now. We're recording this in the summer.
I'm just a Weber guy too. So
yeah, you're a simple man. Yeah, you're a simple man with simple taste.
I keep walking by those Traegers.
No, you're a charcoal Weber?
I'm a charcoal Weber.
Well done.
I am a 22-inch kettle.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. My first one I got after college.
Yep.
I was driving by in a well-to-do neighborhood. I was working for a guy doing tile installation because I majored in English.
Absolutely.
And so
Golden Eagles. Golden Eagles. Go Marquette.
And so I saw.
I told you both my nephews went there.
It's great school. It's great school. So there was this fancy neighborhood. Someone was throwing away like a 22-inch Weber. It's basically new. It's just like one little part needed a weld. And I'm like looking around. I felt like I just like discovered like this is like $100 bill.
I would feel like that right now.
And I loved it. It was like 100 times better than the rusty old Weber I had in college. And it was great. They're amazing.
I can't.
You can smoke in them, griddle them,
exactly.
do everything with them.
Exactly.
Well, what's a good backyard wine to go with grilling on the water?
Our number one selling wine at the tasting room right now at the barn, and it continues to be year over year, is our Trailblazer.
Okay.
And that's a Zin Petit Syrah blend.
Okay.
Which is spectacular.
Okay.
It's a Sonoma Zin, so it ripens. It's not the spicy herbal kind. It's a real fruit forward Zin. Okay. Back it up with some Petit Syrah, give it some grip, some tannin.
Right.
I would have to say that is going to cover a wide swath of what you can do, what you're doing outside.
Because grilling also, with the exception of like really light fish, grilling does impart the smoky flavors. So you got to have something that can stand up to that, whether you're doing, like red meat on there, burgers or something like that.
Yeah. Well, what did I do recently? I guess, I kind of getting into this reverse sear thing.
Oh, yeah.
And I like it.
Yeah.
So I'll throw...
Explain that for people who...
depending on what you're cooking, you're only going to do it with beef, or maybe you do it with lamb, or I don't even know if anybody's doing it with pork, but just throw it in the oven. Whatever your seasoning is going to be.
Right.
Whether it's some ribeyes or a prime rib roast, or down the street here about 3 blocks, they sell some really nice tomahawks.
Okay.
So I'll grab one of those, maybe 3-4 inches thick.
Yeah.
Throw it in the oven at like 250 for a half hour.
Okay.
And then let it sit in a baking sheet. And then throw it on the grill.
Right.
And cook it, and it comes out perfectly.
Get the char on the outside.
Yeah, get the char so you don't overcook it.
Right. So it cooks slowly on the inside.
Keeps the juices inside.
The meat gets up to the right temperature. Yeah. And then you do it there.
It's my little secret, but it's not really much of a secret.
I don't know. Maybe we can bring a Weber into the studio. I'd have to figure out the chimney.
Yeah, let's call the city and see if we can get a vent in here.
We can make this into a cooking contest.
But there's a lot of guys I know that are, they'll be over my house, or we'll be at an event, and they'll be like checking their phones.
I feel like it's cheating.
And they're
100% cheating.
Right? You know what I'm talking about?
Traeger's going on.
Yeah. They're like, oh yeah, I'm at. It just dumped another thing.
So look, are you even? Let's be honest. Are you even grilling if you're not at the grill?
If you're doing something for 13 hours,
yeah, if you're smoking something like some pulled pork or shoulder like that, yes. Yeah. But what you're supposed to do, and I will tell you, and I think
it's the ritual.
You're supposed to put on the white sneakers, the dad sneakers, the jorts or cargo shorts if you've got them.
Court classics from Costco.
See, that's what you gotta do. And then while you're cooking, you kind of like, that little part. You start a project in the backyard that you're not going to finish, and will drive your spouse nuts for years. Yeah. That's what you do.
It's the best.
You see your neighbor, and you kind of yell at your neighbor for a little bit, and you look around. Oh, that's right.
Look around.
And you're like, what?
Tap the tongs.
You got to tap. If you don't tap the tongs, the food doesn't cook right.
Or people don't think you're doing anything.
No, if you don't tap the tongs,
It's a sanctuary.
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You might look at the dog and like, oh, the dog, and then you love the dog, but you hate the dog, because he craps everywhere. And... Oh wait, have I mentioned the 3 cats that you hate? Yeah. Oh wait, maybe I'm talking about you here.
I'm not a cat guy, but the cats have found my horseshoe pit. So.
Our cats have found not that there's any kind of varmints in California, but the rats that are now coming out because fruit's starting to ripen.
Yeah.
So they're going around and they keep bringing me presents. They brought me 2 the other day.
Nice.
And 1 they missed, and that one walked right into my house because I was just typing away at the laptop. This rat walks into my house.
Just cruising in.
And I'm like, Cats, where are you?
Uh-huh.
He hides behind the fridge.
And now he's stuck in the house.
Well, and that was the point. So when I told the kids, this time it was like 11 o'clock at night, I was trying to get them. I couldn't get them. So I'm like, okay, everyone shut your bedroom doors. Throw the cats in the kitchen. I'm like, here's the plan. We're either going to wake up to a rat massacre.
Yeah, like someone just opened up speaking of Costco, got a Costco grade Heinz ketchup bottle.
I'm like, it's just gonna be a rat massacre, or one of the cats is gonna go down because rats are pretty big.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
What actually happened was, to taunt, the rat was still behind the fridge, and I had to have my wife help me and get the thing, and I let it go. I didn't have the heart to kill it. I let it go in a field like 5 blocks away from my house. I'm like, fine, this is your lucky day. Avoid the things. And anyway, I
caught a rat one time.
Did you?
Yeah.
You didn't grill it, did you?
No. I got called over to a friend's house.
Yeah.
Her husband was out of town, and there was a rat stuck behind the washer or dryer.
Oh yeah. It's just bad.
Yeah, and I got it.
With your hand?
I don't know, with some receptacles and different kinds of things.
I had gloves and I had a box.
Yeah,
and then my wife had a yardstick.
I felt really manly.
You did, yeah. I mean, you could have just walked away, and be like, "This is gonna be great on the grill," not tell them anything.
No, I could have. I did leave it for them.
It's funny.
But so back to queuing.
Right. Don't grill your rats.
Looking for rats or possums or anything else you can throw on the grill, right?
Well, I like it. So go with a good red wine that can hold up to it. Do you guys have white wines that can go with like fish or something a little more subtle if people are doing some trout or something like that?
We do. I mean, we just do, our whites are Sauvignon Blanc and Chardonnay.
Okay.
And, either of those are going to go
pretty well with that. Yeah.
Phenomenally. Shrimp tacos.
I love shrimp tacos.
SB all day.
That's good stuff. Yeah.
Throw a little ice in that Sauvignon Blanc, and
it's a party. It's a party. That is the official backyard wine. Sauvignon Blanc is good. You have grassy ones, non-grassy ones, et cetera, et cetera. And actually, it's a fairly affordable. Some people think, oh, wine's so expensive. You're not dropping $30 usually on a Sauvignon Blanc, or $40. You can, some really nice ones.
You can.
Yeah. But you can also find some good ones around 15 to 20, and you're doing okay on that. So that's all right. See, good. Stuff.
Just thanks for the prompts.
You bet. Do you ever go out hiking in Sonoma? Or did you when you were younger?
I have. I do. I will on occasion.
I just saw this in the newspaper.
Okay.
The finest Kenwood Press. The black bear population at Sugarloaf is coming back.
Interesting.
So maybe one of your wines will be about the black bears coming up to Sugarloaf, which is at Kenwood. And
is that, and that's desired, right? That's the
habit. Well, I think we want bears. Is that to a certain degree? I mean, you don't want bears.
Was it a fire related issue before?
I don't know.
In terms of them.
No, I think we just changed some of the zoning rules so they could afford to move back in.
Yeah, that's great. And ideally, they're docile creatures that will sit down and have a drink with you at your campsite.
Everyone knows this. I've seen lots of documentaries about that way.
Yeah.
Actually, what they'll do is they'll open the cooler for you, and the advantage is the cooler can be in the back of your car.
That's right.
Locked.
Well, no, what you do is you do the Yeti challenge with them.
Oh, yeah.
If it's a nice bear.
My money's on the bear.
If it's a nice bear, you say, come on over.
Do you have one of those Yeti coolers?
I'll buy you a couple drinks.
Do you have a Yeti cooler?
I got a few of them.
Okay, so this is funny how the Yeti cooler, the Yeti tumbler,
And you got the Orcas, you got Arctic. You got
all this, like these high-end coolers.
Mm-hmm. Right? Pelican.
And they say they will last forever while you're camping. The ice won't melt. But it's really as long as you don't open the cooler. So it's sort of like true. It's like saying this car is incredibly fuel efficient as long as you don't drive it.
As long as you
like you're right.
There's something to be said about that. Yeah, we've tested these things.
I know people are always like, oh, ice will stay cold in here for 48 hours or like 72 hours.
Well, back in the day when these things became all the rage, and now it seems like every high-end luxury SUV has a Louis Vuitton keychain and a a Yeti cargo bag in the back with its little cooler right next to it.
That's right. That way, when you go to watch your kids at soccer.
Yeah, I love what the brand has done, honestly. I just
good.
don't know how many more things you can make for people to buy.
I don't know.
But the Yeti, not the Yeti, but it was the Cooler Challenge.
Right.
And they would take all the brands that were out at the time, and it's on YouTube.
Are they give it to a bear?
No. Well, I've seen that.
Yeah.
Right.
Trying to get into it.
No, but they'd fill them with ice.
Okay, right.
And then they come back every day, and they show how much the ice is going down in each cooler.
Right.
Well, they didn't open the cooler 50,000 times for beer or
the only
water
thing that matters for is if like you're running
soda.
a heart transplant, across the country,
right,
in a jet, and you're like, you don't want it to, I guess, thaw out or something.
Yeah,
that makes a good idea.
Yeah,
but otherwise, you're gonna go in there and grab a beer.
That's right. And some kids, whatever. So
kids.
they're I have an igloo too. Let's just put it that way.
Good.
Yes.
Also, those things get lost while you're camping. So it's like you can drive away from your Yeti cooler just as quickly as you can drive away from the $20 cooler. So
I got my Yeti. The rate you got to pay for those things, you got to get them insured.
You got to know where they are.
They got to put a tracking system on them.
I brought up, I showed something to you too. Also, speaking of beer, I know you don't just drink wine. Occasionally you can have a beer.
Oh, by all means.
And I remember you guys actually helped us pour beer at the lighting of the plaza. Mm-hmm. We had the Native Sons, which you're a group of, and they were helping us pour beer and stuff like that from Sonoma Springs. Mm-hmm. Craft beer history was here in Sonoma. Okay. I have a historical plaque here.
I think it's phenomenal.
Yeah, New Albion Brewing Company says the first American microbrewery of the post-Prohibition era was founded at this location in 1976 by Jack McAuliffe, Susie Stern, and Jane Zimmerman. This is an authentic historical marker.
Is it really?
That I ordered off the internet.
That you ordered on getlandmarks.com.
Exactly. Because New Albion Brewing Company was on 8th Street East and Denmark Street.
Oh, no way.
So not far from your brewery.
It's right by...
from your winery.
So there's
it's on the way to
Denmark.
Gunbun. Yeah, it's on the way to Gunbun.
Yeah, on the way to... No kidding, right there.
Right there. Huh. Currently there are... It's not a brewery anymore.
Yeah.
But that's where these three people restarted the craft brewery industry. After Prohibition.
Yep.
There used to be a lot of breweries everywhere, right? Sonoma had a bunch. Santa Rosa had some. Everyone had their own small brewery.
Right.
Then Prohibition's like, let's get rid of all alcohol. Mm-hmm. How could that possibly affect anything? And then there was no crime and no problems.
Right.
But then they rescinded it anyway because it was such a successful experiment.
That's right.
And what happened was all the small breweries were gone, like a lot of the small wineries were gone. Mm-hmm. So this guy started up a craft brewery there, New Albion, and that begat like the one in San Francisco, like Anchor Steam with Fritz Maytag, all these different ones. So yeah, I'm just letting you know, this is a piece of history. People don't know that Sonoma was integral to this. And evidently that might appear on 8th Street in Denmark if I could borrow your truck and a drill.
Covert operation. That is very. There's so much history.
There's a lot here.
Yeah,
it's. Yeah. I mean, you know all the stories about stuff here, but someone says there's like underground caverns underneath the B&V and a secret tunnel or something like that.
I spent a lot of time there back in the mid-90s.
What do you know about that?
Operating that place. There's quite a cavern under there. For sure.
And I guess the creek used to go underneath there or something.
It still does.
It does. Mm-hmm. The creek just goes right underneath.
It goes under the floated floor of the of the bottom of the creamery building. Yeah, spent some time there.
Where else did you work?
In town?
Yeah.
Oh man, I worked at Angelo's.
You did?
Yeah.
Doing what?
Making sandos and eating jerky.
He makes great jerky down there.
Yeah.
So on the way to
he's still doing gangbusters over on Adobe too.
Yeah, in Petaluma.
We get he'll do. I feel like it's an advertisement for everyone else
Brought
except for us.
Brought to you by Angelo's Deli.
No, he's phenomenal. And if he likes you and you go over there and get stuff, whether you're getting sausage or whether you're getting a roast or something or jerky, he'll take you in the back and give you a little shot of grappa.
Oh, real?
Yeah.
God, he doesn't like me.
Yeah.
Jeez. Yeah. I thought it was a bonus when I got like a little mint taped to my sandwich. I thought, this is classic.
Well, but that's here on Arnold. Sonoma. The one on Adobe.
Really?
Home base. Yeah.
All right. He's got to stop by there.
But they do pigs there.
Really?
And he'll roast pigs. What he does is he opens them up. It's a full pig.
Okay.
Suckling pig almost like. Mm-hmm. And then he stuffs them with pork roasts. And all of his
for real,
his seasoning and everything is just phenomenal. Just fills it with all of that olive oil, everything, ties it up, and then he'll roast them off, and you can
I did not know
You
this.
can order them and for a party.
Can you imagine if I come home with like an entire pig?
And he gives it to you in a cooler.
Hopefully it's a Yeti because it'll stay cold or hot for like 5 days.
I know where he's from. We're from the same part of Italy.
It's not going to be Yeti.
They're not known for buying Yetis. I'll leave it at that.
That's not going to happen. That's funny.
Yeah.
Paul, tell me, before we get into the segment where you're going to help me answer some questions,
Okay.
If people want to find out more about your wineries / tasting rooms, are you on the internet? Do you have a website?
We do.
What is your website?
We just got it the other day.
You finally got it.
Yeah, it was. It took a little while, but we're slow adopters. Like I said, conventional. Highway12winery.com.
Highway12winery.com. I also like what's funny is that somewhere at the top of your thing it says a friendly winery or friendly. I don't know if you put that on there.
Friendly owned.
Friendly owned. It's a family owned. Friendly owned.
Yeah,
That's funny.
yeah.
I thought that was clever.
Yeah.
Because you it's not just you have other partners.
I've got my fellow co-founder, business operating partner, Michael Sebastiani, and myself, and we kind of operate the business. And
you're also a bike-friendly business. I noticed when I visit you guys have your mountain bikes there, and you have all sorts of stuff in the warehouse.
Yeah, there was a contingent of folks that were doing triathletes a few years back.
That's crazy.
And now they're dust collectors.
And now their knees are old, and
those bikes now are relics. Even though they look like rocket ships, from 20 years ago.
That wasn't you. Were you doing triathlons?
Hell no.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe you were. Maybe that's a whole other secret side of you I didn't know about.
Ran a few things, but no.
But not on triathlon.
I was running half marathons for a while.
You were?
Yeah, and I learned one thing.
What?
That I'll never run a full.
They've got the Napa to Sonoma half marathon coming up here. It's in July.
Done that. Got a good story about that, but that'll have to be offline.
Offline there. Well, they always like, do you want to run it? I'm like, I most certainly do not want to run that.
Yeah, can I walk it?
I will cheer for you.
Yeah.
But I got a medal.
Yeah.
Because we were helping sponsoring it. No, just like they said, can you promote us on social media? I'm like, the only way I can do that is like if I had a medal to show off. Like you can earn one of these.
Right.
And they're like, well, you kind of have to run the race. I'm like, well, I don't think I can promote it. Like, okay, here's your medal.
You ran a hard bargain, man.
I did. And they actually had a whole box of them they gave me. But
is it going to finish again in the square?
It finishes right on the square. It starts in Napa, finishes in Sonoma Plaza. Yep. Mm-hmm. They also have the Rosé 5K. Which is a little more my style. You can do a 5K, which is 3.1 miles, I think, and you can amble upon that and drink some rosé and some sparkling wine.
Back in the day, and it's not going on anymore, but for years, probably about 30 years, there was at least 30 years, maybe not, late 70s, early 80s, was Hit the Road Jack.
Well, did that become part of the Vintage Festival for a hot minute?
Yes, I believe so. There was a transfer of operating and actually Michael and I took it over for about 5 years.
You ran the race?
We
organized it?
Organized it.
Meaning ran as an operated?
Yeah.
Really? What was it?
What was it?
Yeah.
It was called Hit the Road Jack.
Okay, well, what is it? Why is it called Hit the Road Jack?
Hit the Road Jack was, a lot of people think it was because of Sonoma Jack.
The cheese.
Even though the Vivianis were involved with it because it finished right there. Mm-hmm. There was like 3 guys back in the day that started this, and it was, I think, it was to raise money for hospice. Because one of their friends was terminally ill with cancer, and his name was Jack.
God. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sonoma Jack is a type of cheese that was invented here or created here. I don't know if you can invent a cheese, but anyway, supposedly.
Yeah.
That's what. Yeah.
Namesake of the valley.
Right.
Or at least of downtown Sonoma.
Sonoma Jack cheese.
Sonoma Jack cheese.
Still get it.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Okay, good. Well, let's raise a toast to us not racing any marathons ever.
The only thing I'm running to is a beer after this. Lord knows I'm going to need it talking
exactly.
to you.
Well, that speaking of hard times and hard questions, you're going to help us out. Okay. You know that we run 2 visitor centers.
I do know
one
that.
One at the Plaza, one at Vianza.
Mm-hmm.
We also have online. We'll answer questions. People text us, 707-996-1090. We'll answer it. We'll answer your text.
Cool.
Facebook. We got all sorts of questions. You're going to be one of my visitor services reps and help me answer these because this section is what we call We Get Questions.
Great.
Ready?
This is what you meant when you texted me earlier.
Right.
Okay, good.
Thanks for being such one part of
I was in my truck out front brushing up on what could this possibly be. But
here we go.
Is this right here?
Yeah, you haven't seen I just gave you you can pick them up.
I didn't even look at it.
You ready?
All right. Yeah.
First one.
Fire away.
We would like to go on a scenic drive in Sonoma. Mm-hmm. What would you recommend?
There's so many of them.
Yeah.
I like going up Cavedale.
Okay.
So for the risk-averse folks, or not risk-averse, for the risk-averse maybe that don't like the windy roads and such.
Don't go up there if you don't like windy roads.
Yeah, I mean, you can sneak up Moon Mountain too.
Okay.
But the vista from there is spectacular.
So you go up a road. What road do you take up?
Cavedale.
Okay. What road are you on before that? Highway 12.
Oh, yeah. How about that? How about that? That was like a beautiful softball there. Slow and baby bouncy kickball.
You even alluded to it like, oh, it's a great drive for the coast.
Yeah. Self-serving. Well, there's really, I mean, pretty much every scenic drive around here is going to be
close it's kind of funny
or off of Highway 12.
Yeah, they're like so Cavedale Road is a road that goes off Highway 12 just before Kenwood. Before Kenwood. Mm-hmm. There is supposedly a cave up there.
Is there?
Someone said there's a small cave
that
cyclists can see. It's like sort of like a little crumble on the side of the hill or something like that. But Cavedale is a road that is fairly windy, goes up over the hill, and if you have a large car, do not go up there. Like a RV.
And Trinity is a little, Trinity is same thing.
Gorgeous.
I mean, when you come over if you're ever over in Napa, you come over the Oakville grade, and then you get up on the ridge line there, and you start driving down. It's
beautiful.
And you start looking at everything. You're like, I live here?
Yeah, my country 'tis of thee.
Whoa.
Yeah,
amazing.
It's beautiful.
Amazing.
It is not for the faint of heart, and if you want an easier route to go to Napa, just go down and around the hill, if you want to go that way.
Yeah. To our Cavedale, Trinity, Moon Mountain. Moon Mountain, you kind of your views get a little blocked, but Monteroso's up there.
Yeah,
and
beautiful
Reprise
vineyard.
up there.
Yeah, good vineyard up there.
Spectacular.
Okay.
Another one, which I think is super great, and I don't know how far you can get before you're on private property, but is Garricky.
If you see a farmer shooting in the air, turn around.
That's right.
Yes, a Garricky Road. That is a good one.
Yeah.
That's pretty. What's the view like over there, though? Is it different?
Well, it depends on how high you get, but if you go to Chamazal, the vineyard there, at the turn right before the cattle crossing, or right at the cattle crossing, you can hike up there. I think I think
there's some open space.
There's some open space, so they're open to people hiking up there, and you get up there and you just look right down the chute at the city.
It's crazy. Yeah, so the valley kind of gets narrow and then opens up at the base of it, and San Francisco's out there.
Yeah.
And when the fog comes in, sunny here, it looks like a crochet hook has pulled fog through the Golden Gate Bridge, like through the bay. It really is kind of stunning on a summer afternoon.
You had me at crochet.
You like that? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to show you a picture.
I think of you crocheting?
No.
You're like, little known fact.
Little known fact.
In addition to formerly running
you hit me square in
half marathons, Paul was a crochet expert.
This was my Father's Day shirt. It was a birthday present from my wife, Debbie, upon request.
Yeah, what is this here? Oh my gosh, she crocheted a shirt for you? No, where'd you get that? What is that? It is, readers.
Crocheted Afghan.
It is like a crocheted Afghan vest shirt
short
button
sleeve.
Up. It's got the colors of yellow, blue, pink, red, lighter blue.
It's the old school Afghan.
That is definitely an Afghan.
Yeah.
Like we had that on our couch.
Yeah.
When I would watch the Dukes of Hazzard.
Reminds me of when you stick your toes through the
Totally.
right, and then watching The Price is Right with my grandparents.
That's when the cats would attack your feet because the toe would stick out. And
that's right.
Like, get it.
Yeah, that's why you knew where it was socks.
Did she make that? No, she ordered. Did she make that?
No, it was on Etsy.
Etsy. Wow,
yeah. It was made in Turkey.
It looks like it's like
for a turkey.
Tailored for you. Tailored for a turkey. I love it. Well, happy belated Father's Day on that.
Likewise to you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's
and
good.
Congrats on your son, right?
He's going off to college.
Great Father's Day gift.
Graduated high school.
Yeah.
One down, one more to go. That's what happens. You've got 3 kids.
I got 2 boys.
2 boys.
Yeah.
So I got a daughter.
Yeah.
She's going to be a junior.
Cool.
So, yeah, it's kind of weird when your kids are growing up and moving out of the house, though. So it'll be weird.
We'll have one going in as a junior in college, and then one going as a senior in high school.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah. Can't wait. Sayonara. Arrivederci.
What do they say? They soil the nest when they're on their way out.
Yeah.
Another question for you.
Yep.
Okay. Is there live music in the Sonoma Plaza this summer on Sunday afternoons at 2:30 p.m. in the Grinstead Amphitheater? People ask all sorts of weird questions.
Yeah, I mean that's a very specific.
It's a very specific question
with the time and the location and the amphitheater.
The fact they know the name Grinstead Amphitheater.
Right.
This is probably a pretty well-informed visitor.
That is 100% yes.
That's true.
Is that right?
That is true. Okay, absolutely true.
50-50 there.
There is live music starting off this summer. A company called Music in Place, or a nonprofit. They're bringing in really amazing performers from around the Bay Area and Northern California.
Great.
Like Latin jazz and, I mean, all sorts of stuff. Funk, rock, whatever. 2:30 p.m., free concerts, the Grinstead Amphitheater. That's right there on 1st Street East in the middle of the Sonoma Plaza. You'll hear it.
Are there going to be any vendors or anything that you know of?
Well, I hear there's a great tasting room half a block away.
Yeah, there's a few of them.
Well, and that's actually a good point. In our plaza, you can drink wine. Or any alcohol, really. There's no open container law. You just got to behave yourself. So people can buy a bottle of wine and get some glasses and come enjoy it. And get some food and stuff like that. So, yeah, I don't know if there'll be vendors per se at the amphitheater, but as you know, there's plenty of things around.
Oh, tons of them.
Go to the B&B and go get a burger.
Grab some goodies to go somewhere and come on over and hang out.
Or get lost in the underground river.
I'll be there tomorrow.
Yeah.
On the plaza.
You'll be there tomorrow?
For my niece's three-year-old birthday.
You holding the piñata?
Probably.
Remember, hold the
and
piñata
delivering the tables and chairs.
Away from the crotch zone. I learned that one.
That's right.
It's like way over there.
I'll get my boom.
Exactly. It's a mistake here. Lesson you only learn once.
Yeah.
Or hopefully once.
Nothing like a nice event or family party, private party on the plaza.
The plaza,
it really is.
Tons of people show up.
Yeah.
It's great for birthday parties. You're absolutely right. And it's almost like each quadrant is its own separate room. In the middle, there is the kids' playground. There's 2 kids' playgrounds. So, and the kids just really enjoy that, and the parents can just chill.
Yep.
You bring some cornhole or something like that. You're just chilling, and And if you don't like the food there, don't tell the people who brought the food.
That's right.
But you can sneak away and get food elsewhere. Yeah, a piece of pizza.
Yeah, you can go across the street and go grab, a steak at the Fig, or and bring it back over.
Steak in
yeah. Jeez, I got a hunkering for a steak at this picnic.
The person's like, "Did you like my my lime green salad?" And you're like, "Oh, I just ate a steak."
Yeah, I'm full of. I had my quinoa quota last night. I think I'm going to. Head over to the Swiss.
Paul, you can never have enough quinoa.
That's true. That's true.
Never have it.
Yeah.
And the Swiss is great for a cocktail. I should ask you
Got that right.
That's a good one. Okay, ready?
Yeah.
This one was on the Facebook.
This was on Facebook.
This question right here.
Okay.
Can I find a smaller winery that is a local winemaker and which allows walk-in tasting?
Yeah.
Like who?
Let's see. Without hogging the airwaves here, let's see if we can dedicate.
Oh, you're not going to say Highway 12?
Oh, we're walk-in friendly.
Okay, you are.
Yeah, we take reservations. But
you guys are even dog walking friendly.
We're dog walking friendly. We're everything friendly.
But geez, Paul, stop talking about yourself. Give me somebody else.
Of course. We who.
It could be anywhere. It doesn't have to be.
I know.
And now you have a problem because I basically asked you who's your favorite kid. And now you have to. You can't say I love them all equally.
Yeah.
Even though I know it's the second one, so you have to tell me the truth.
From a walk-in standpoint, I mean, we know everybody, around for the most part. But I mean, La Prenda, that's
a great one.
They're walk-in friendly,
right by the Red Grape.
Right by the Red Grape. Great spot. And wines are, we do a lot with Ned on the growing side.
Grape growers, or still are, who decide to make their own wine.
I just talked to them this morning.
You did?
Yeah.
You're like, how are my grapes doing?
Well, I'm like, yeah, how are the grapes doing? I said I'm going on air with Tim's honor, and I need a report from the vineyard.
Okay, I'm going to segue to that.
Yeah.
So someone walked up and asked me, "Hey, how are the grapes doing?" What would I tell them?
It's cold.
It has been a cooler than normal. So, and cold, actually, I clarify this. You and I are wearing short sleeves.
Relatively.
So it's not cold in the sense. It's just not hot.
We haven't had a 90-degree day yet.
We have not. It's not tomatoes weather yet.
No. Although I'm tinkering with my tomatoes.
Doing 2 different things. You're like,
I am.
Propane.
Well, I got time before they just go.
They go crazy.
So grapes are. What was? We came to a politically correct statement because everyone, growers are. They're sandbaggers.
Oh, I love growers because they're always like
everybody in this business is
yields
sandbagging.
are down, but quality's up.
Yeah, or you're going to get a lot of that this year. But you can also add late and light.
Late and light.
Late and lightish.
So we could also say
average-ish.
that they will hang and have more complex flavors because they're not hurrying and ripening too fast.
Correct.
So far.
But they need to ripen.
But eventually they need to ripen.
Yeah.
And they will heat up. We always worry, but every year it does warm up.
Foliage has taken off.
So do you guys go out there and when you say foliage, you mean the leaves? Mm-hmm. Do you guys go out there and take leaves away so that the grapes get some sun?
Later. Yeah.
Okay.
From when I think probably around next couple weeks, we'll start cutting back the canopies.
Canopy management, they call that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a lot of people actually ask this question, like what happens in the vineyards? There's always something happening in the vineyards, whether you see it or not. Mm-hmm. Even when they're dormant, they're out there pruning or putting down ground cover.
Cover crop.
Right. So something going on. But right now, they're finishing up suckering, I think, where they're taking off the little shoots off the bottom. And they're like, get out of here. Mm-hmm. Put all your energy in the grapes. And now you guys are like, okay, we don't want too much shade on the grapes, but just enough. Mm-hmm. There's this weird dance you guys all do. Mm-hmm. So the answer is...
I mean, I will not claim grower status.
Sorry.
Yes.
There's a weird dance
but
that
we
people...
I hear that's what they do.
The people who actually drive trucks here that are dirty...
Yeah. That's right.
Versus the winemakers.
I got to drive through a couple puddles on my way to work.
They drive the trucks that are clean.
Yeah.
No. So the grapes are doing okay, but we could use a little bit of heat, is what you're saying.
I think a little balance, right?
Okay.
It's kind of like, okay, all right. It's been a nice, cool spring, and now we're into summer.
Saving on the air conditioning.
But then if you hammer them, then they shut down.
We want a nice subtle... Yeah. Okay, good. It's going to happen.
So it's supposed to get hot next week.
It is. Yeah. It's going to happen.
So it ebbs and flows.
Okay. So that's a good answer, too. Mm-hmm. Here's a question we got. We have a big parade on July 4th for Independence Day.
That's right.
Here in Sonoma. It's quite a to-do. Mm-hmm. But the question is, where can they see it? Where can they see the parade? Where can they watch it from?
Well, I mean... Do you want a vantage point?
Well, where do you think? I mean, this is the question we got. Where can we see the parade on July 4th? I was going to say
depends on who you know.
Anywhere around the plaza.
Yeah, anywhere around the plaza. I remember back in the day. Oh my gosh, it was. We used to get up early.
Oh yeah.
Or actually get up. I'd go tie up some chairs and around poles at midnight the night before. And it was like a ritual. Now I barely get there in time to watch it.
You come running out there with your cup of coffee. Like,
I go park at Montini and walk down the bike path.
That's the way. See, smart.
Yeah.
So the parade goes around the plaza. This year, similar to last year, they instituted it where it actually starts north of the plaza on 1st Street West. It comes all the way down 1st Street West. It takes a left on...
Doesn't it go 1st Street East first?
Sorry, 1st Street East. Yep. So 1st Street East. Then it takes a right on Napa. Mm-hmm. Then it continues on Broadway/Highway 12 because it's the same road.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know the configuration anymore.
I think it's going to come down past the Mission, go across front of City Hall, go up 1st Street West, take a right on Spain, and then go out. So it's going to be like that. So everyone around the plaza can see it.
Yeah, I remember it was down 1st Street East. Down to West Napa or East Napa, across the West Napa. The review stand was right at Broadway, right at the palm tree.
Right.
And then
the historic palm tree.
The historic palm tree. Is it still lit up?
It's
sore subject.
Yes, the palm tree. No, the palm tree I think has stopped being lit up, but it'll be re-lit up soon.
Okay.
But the lighting of the plaza, of which you've been a major sponsor, thank you. It'll relight up in November.
Understood. I don't mean to
I love that you're like,
poke and prod.
Because subject. People are like, you should keep it lit all year. And we're like, but then what do we do for the holidays?
That's right.
What do you do?
Yeah, there was kind of like, look, it's still lit. That's cool.
Know.
Is it cool?
I know. Is it?
Yeah. I think it's
like it's opening day of baseball. It's light at the palm tree.
Yeah.
No, Paul, they gotta have their seasonality.
I think you need to have people wanting or coming back for more.
Absence makes the heart grow fonder.
That's right.
So speaking of, we don't want them to miss the parade. So you're saying you used to go around, boom, boom.
Yeah,
boom,
and then it would finish right in front of what's the sandwich?
7-Eleven?
Mary's and
down there, yeah.
Yeah, you would just kind of turn in that way, and then it'd be done.
So what's cool about this time, for anyone to know, it's anywhere around the plaza, they can see the 4th of July parade. And then there's fireworks in the evening, and they're in a field north of the plaza. And you can pretty much see them from anywhere around the plaza. People tend to go north of the plaza to kind of see it in the open space. I think they launched them up from the Vallejo House, right?
Yeah, it's right in the open fields, right along the bike path.
So you can't go there because they're launching them off, but you can be near there.
You can get pretty darn close.
Baseball diamonds and stuff like that.
Yeah, you can get pretty darn close. And I think the fire department, they have like a barbecue component, or they used to have a huge festival
element
down there.
There's a big festival like after the parade, before the fireworks.
Yeah, it's
come on down.
It's one of the best days in Sonoma.
It really is. Yeah, and so and you'll be there. But you won't be there at midnight putting your chairs out. I gotta
say, we overslept last year and didn't feel like dealing with the traffic, so we didn't go.
You hopped on YouTube look what happened in the parade.
Got down there later. I think I got into it a little deep on the July 3rd at night with some friends.
Yeah, you were ready. You were wearing a crocheted vest, grilling in the backyard.
I should have my red, white, and blue one.
You should have that. You got time.
I got time. Yeah, we'll be on First Street East.
Okay.
Just past the 4 locations past the Casa Grande parking lot driveway.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, you got your spot.
Oh, yeah.
Well, luckily, since no one listens to this, they won't know where you are.
Yeah.
So don't steal it.
That's right.
That's right. No one steal Paul's spot.
Long time Sonoma buddy.
He's got rules.
Grew up here.
Let me ask you this again. If people, I just want to say thank you for being on the podcast.
Okay.
You're great.
Yeah.
See, you didn't even know you're going to be on the podcast until like this morning. So thank you.
I'm like, I got it. Tim called 2:00. It's on my way home.
Just be there.
Sounds great.
Let's do that. If people have questions about your winery again, where should they go to get this information? What's the website?
Highway12winery.com.
Do you have a wine club people can join?
We do. We have a few of them.
That's amazing.
Different price points, different frequency, different timing. And
this is wine that's good for the backyard. It's good for the front yard. It's good for the kitchen, right? You have to make wines for all occasions.
We have everything going on.
You've got it there. And sometimes when you go to the tasting room, there's Paul Giusto.
Sometimes. I try to stay out of everyone's hair.
and when you are there, the rest of the staff's like, Paul, don't you have things to do back?
You end up giving everything away, Yeah. But one quick point about the barn and the team, and we just have a great, awesome
They're great. They're
team.
very friendly.
Yeah.
We send a lot of people there.
We're very low key.
Go check in.
Yeah.
It's a good introductory winery too.
Yeah.
Because some people are worried about, I don't know a lot about wine. I don't know what a varietal is, and like they're so unassuming and friendly. They have a little outdoor area you can taste at, to a little patio. So I think it's great.
Yeah.
It is a pretty fancy barn though.
Like the hometown winery.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Highway 12, your hometown winery. Were you just trying out different sayings in the car?
Yeah. let me see if I can sneak this one through. I don't know. That was always something that we thought we could be or were, and it's kind of like an old school approach.
You are. No, you are.
Back in the day with the Bun Shoes and Buena Vista and Sebastiani, and everyone's just so close to Sonoma and the town, and it was just Ravenswood was up the street. Yeah. Fun stuff.
That's actually where Ravenswood is, near where the craft brewery was. Out there on 8th Street, wasn't it?
The tasting room was up on Garricky.
Okay.
So part of our tour earlier, with our walk. But yeah, I think their winery was out on 8th Street.
I think it was out there.
Yeah.
But anyway, now we're going to highway12winery.com.
That's us.
The friendly owned local Sonoma winery.
Sure. I like it. Yeah.
All of the above.
Yeah.
So if people have questions, go there. And if you have questions about Sonoma Valley and you want special deals, offers, you want to sign up for our email list, go to sonomavalley.com. Mom and Dad, thanks for listening. Dad, happy birthday. And we'll see you guys next week. Thanks a lot, Paul.
All right. Thanks, Tim.